Your Excellency, Mr. Peter Thompson, the President of the General Assembly, distinguished guests, youth representatives, and representatives who are young at heart. Good morning. I'm Jayathma Wickramanayake, and I'm the United Nations Secretary General's Envoy on Youth. And as Maher very correctly said, I've been on the job for less than 2 weeks, so I don't have a lot of interesting stories to share like the President of the General Assembly, but I'll try to bring in some personal experiences that I've gone through from a participation perspective as a youth delegate or youth representative. Let me at the outset highlight the role of non-governmental organizations in facilitating inputs from young people into the discussions of national, regional, and international processes which they don't have direct access to. Having sat where you are seated today for long years, I know the amount of hard work that goes into leading a civil society or a non-governmental organization. Let me also thank you for the new perspectives, energy, and dynamism you bring into the intergovernmental organizations like the United Nations. Intergenerational dialogue is a crucial element to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals and sustaining peace for all. Building bridges for different generations to work together in a mutually empowering relationship is one of the most important factors affecting the implementation of the SDGs. Intergenerational relations have been outlined as a priority area in the World Programme of Action on Youth in 2007, with proposals for action focusing strengthening families, empowering young people, and bolstering intergenerational solidarity. It is also important to note that one of the goals of the 2002 Madrid Action Plan of Aging is to move older people from social exclusion to integration and participation. This concept is the basis for intergenerational programs fostering solidarity between generations and promoting social inclusion and fight discrimination based on age or ability and creating a society for all ages. With the help of all generations, young people can help fulfill the tasks noted in both the World Programme of Action on Youth and the Madrid Plan of Action. We all know that we currently have the largest generation of young people, as the speakers before me mentioned, and it's important to realize that as we speak of the demographic dividends and the youth bulges of countries that are going in the global south, it's also important that some countries are facing the opposite of this, which is aging populations. It needs to be recognized that generations do not operate as binary. We cannot simply speak of the younger generation and the older generation, young people versus old people. Solidarity across generations is key for social development, and for this we require new approaches in the workforce, in education, and in socioeconomic development. Aging populations must work with younger populations to foster successful and reciprocal intergenerational relations and partnerships, which will lie at the core of every well-integrated society. Prior to being appointed as the Youth Envoy of the Secretary General, I took part in different initiatives focusing on youth at all levels and with a variety of stakeholders. Most often, even though the discussions were centered on young people, I was often the only young person in the room. I found through my experience that there are 3 types of approaches to youth participation. The first approach is, we've been your age once, we know what you're thinking. This most often undermined my inputs to discussions. While it's true that adults often possess more experience than young people, it is important to recognize that it's not about who does or doesn't have more experience. With changes in technology and greater access to knowledge and opportunity, different generations bring different skills and different experiences to the table. The second and the most common approach is the facilitation of tokenistic participation of young people in decision-making platforms because it is perceived as a good experience for the young people. This includes limiting young people's participations to observance and trying to groom them to, as they say, to think like adults. Tokenistic participation that recognizes young people as passive beneficiaries is, for me, the most precarious approach. The third and the most important approach that we all should fight for is the recognition of young people as partners in dialogues. A mutually reinforcing relationships between young people and adults can foster respect and understanding around each other's role in society and encourage young people to contribute to the best of their ability, as they know that the success or the failure of the program or the action plan depends on their contribution. I am glad that we have such partnership here today in discussion about the same issue, how intergenerational dialogue can contribute to the achievement of the SDGs. Partnerships across age groups need to embrace diverse approaches of attitudes and behavior. This would mean breaking down traditional communication barriers and power dynamics. Intergenerational partnerships can be interpreted in various ways, involving different principles, including 1, sharing decision-making power equally, meaning ensuring meaningful participation of young people in making decisions that not only affect young people, but also the society as a whole. 2, recognizing the right to participate as a basic human right, to practically engage young people in planning, implementing, and evaluating work and programs related to present and future challenges. 3, and the final one, is to combine the unique skills, insight, and experience of each generation rather than wasting time taking stock of what each generation does and does not have. We need not only mutual respect, mutual trust, and understanding among age groups, but we must work towards a solidarity that will empower all social groups to be full economic, social, and civic actors, and will come together to create a society for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wickramanayake. Please now warmly welcome the Councillor Xiao Junyao of the Permanent Mission of the People's Republic of China.